everyone. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to our versus battle. I'm so excited that we're here today and we have some phenomenal contenders. I'm excited to have them. My name is Sade Adu, and I am a hostess with the mostest for today. They asked me to be the referee. You know, I'm still figuring out what my job is, but we're going to have some fun. And I am excited. I work with women entrepreneurs to help them build their personal brands. So, and we definitely do this online. So I am excited to hear from Demeshia Samuels and Paula Marie as they share about the platforms that they call their bays, also known as Pinterest and LinkedIn, or LinkedIn and Pinterest. So we're going head to head today to ask them several questions about what makes this platform the one that you need to know about, the one you need to be using, the one you need to be growing on as we go into a new year. So before we get started, we're going to have our contenders introduce themselves, and then we're going to go into our Q&A segment.
Hey, everybody. It's your girl, Paula Marie, AKA the EbonyBizDiva. Welcome all the problem slayers that are watching this today. You know, I came with my cup. I came with my shirt to represent, because as problem slayers, we got to let people know that we are always slaying their problems, their questions with our problems, with our products and our services. I'm Paula Marie. I'm Team Pinterest. So if you're watching this and you're Team Pinterest, I'm gonna need you to type Team Pinterest in the comments, okay? Even the ones that are watching hashtag replay, I'm gonna need you to type Team Pinterest in. Now, why am I Team Pinterest? Because during my business, I realized, especially at the onset of the pandemic, that all the work I see inside of my business on Pinterest started to yield me dollar money in the first 45 days than I had made in the whole entire prior year, because I was already in position when people were looking for me to solve the problems that they had and to answer the questions that they had with my products and my services. So you definitely can make money whether you have a digital product or a physical product. So I'm here to rep Team Pinterest. And I'm ready. Let me sip some of this coffee so I can get my life together for Demeshia.
Listen, you guys, I'm excited to be here. I am Demeshia Samuels, CEO of Corporate Hustle University, where we make sure that whoever wants to hustle and still have their corporate jobs does so unapologetically. I'm excited to be here. Of course, I'm Team LinkedIn, Team Professional Development, Team Personal Development, Team Step Your Network Game up all day, every day, and twice on Sundays, all right? I came here to let you know, not just because I'm a Zeta, but all things blue, including LinkedIn, is where you need to be in 2022 to build your brand and business. Because listen, whether you are creating this big, gigantic business or enterprise, or whether you have a career, you're always building a brand, a personal brand that is. So I'm excited to be here to represent for Team LinkedIn. And yeah, you know, I'm always coming to win, and I'm always the people's champion because I represent the corporate hustlers. Thank you.
All righty. So you've heard from our two phenomenal contenders. We are going to go right into our Q&A. And question number one, you build relationships using.
So of course, you know, how do you build relationships using LinkedIn? Essentially, you can do so several ways. What I personally did was I reached out for my professional development. So I didn't save my mama and my daddy and my granddaddy and my cousins on my LinkedIn. Instead, my actual professional network, people that I worked with, past, present, and future, my biz besties, my wannabe biz besties, my coaches, my clients, potential clients, that is what I create over there on LinkedIn. Also, people that culturally you wouldn't think that you have so much in common with are easier to find on LinkedIn, because the algorithms are looking for your actual profession. They're looking for what you do business in as opposed to what you're interested in, quote unquote. So culturally, I have a way more diverse network on LinkedIn than I do on other platforms, because it knows that I'm looking for people who want to be thought leaders like myself, in the industry like me, talk about tech, talk about money, talk about personal development, and that is what it shows me, and that's the recommendations it gives me. And that is why I chose to build my actual personal branded network over there on LinkedIn.
Awesome.
When it comes to relationships on Pinterest, Pinterest is all about answering and solving questions and problems. Is SEO based, right? So your relationships can extend today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, 10 years from now, as long as what you're delivering on the platform is relevant and relative to the problems and the pain points of your ideal clients, right? Which means you've got to really understand in depth what your mindset is of what those pain points are. You're establishing those relationships by solidifying yourself as an expert and a product leader. You are giving information and you are giving education to those prospective ideal clients to be able to let them know why your products and services are it. The bee's knees, right? They want to know more. We are in an informational and informative society. We want more, right? We want to be educated in that. And the best way that you can solidify yourself as the leader in your industry is to have great content that always resonates and always lifts and meets the searches of those clients when they're looking for you at midnight. These are leads that are not cold. These are warm leads. These are actually charcoal hot leads because they're looking for you. They just didn't know you. That's a powerful lead, that they are looking for you, but they don't know you, but they begin the like, know, and trust factor through a platform like Pinterest because you are always showing up with content consistently on the platform and you are meeting the needs of those questions and those problems that they're asking at 2 a.m. when they're in bed, when they're in their office, on their lunch break, when they're sipping coffee, and you continually pop up because you understand exactly how to meet them in the eye and say, my products are it. My services can solve your problem. My products can make your life easier. My products can make your life effortless. That is the goal of making those relationships and establishing that like, know, and trust factor. So that's what we do over here at Team Pinterest, honey.
I
That's
love
what
that.
we do.
When it's cold outside and it's late at night, I get my Pinterest relationship.
Next question. Why did you decide to become an expert on your particular platform?
This is so funny because Sade YMDu, I had a I had a coaching call with her and she's like, why aren't you a coach on LinkedIn? But no, in all seriousness, it took me a minute. In these Pinterest streets, no, it actually wasn't Pinterest streets, excuse me. What is it? Periscope streets. I realized that everybody was talking about building businesses and brands. And I was over here in LinkedIn and I realized that the melanin skin over there was lacking and that there was space and there was opportunity to show that we can show up and articulate ourselves in a professional manner and talk and speak as thought leaders and be in spaces and in rooms that sometimes other platforms won't let us in, and when we're at work, we're not allowed in as well, right? So my coworkers begin to see me as a thought leader in tech, and it just helped me start growing and being more confident and seeing that it was a place that, you know, it wasn't just a place where resumes go to die, right? Because back in the day, that's what people thought. You just upload your resume to LinkedIn and then, you know, okay, one day, maybe some crazy inbox or some, you know, direct messaging or marketing services. But it's grown so much. And luckily, I was a beginner in it. So I'm not new to saying that I'm a LinkedIn expert. I'm not new to saying that I'm into networking. I've been in these streets and these LinkedIn streets for over 7, 8 years, cultivating an audience, building up, understanding how the platform works and what we can use it as. And so it was just, you know, me as a techie, as a woman in STEM, it was just the perfect place for me to nerd out on and not have to entertain or dance or do anything. I could just speak nerd talk and people love it. So that's why I stayed on LinkedIn and then wanted to bring others.
I feel you on that. I think there was a Freudian slip when you were trying to say Periscope and you said Pinterest. Is Pinterest on the brain?
Yes.
All right. So how did I get into Pinterest? I literally was on a platform called Etsy to sell my products and my services. It was a very quick turnaround. I was literally on Facebook, just, you know, jushing around, and everybody wanted to know how they could buy my products that night. And I instantly placed them on Etsy. Etsy is a platform that actually went to educate you how to shine more light on your Etsy shop via Pinterest. So they had a whole background of articles and coaching that really helped us to understand, as well as workshops, how to navigate through Pinterest. And so I began growing roots instantly in my business because of Etsy. Well, fast forward, like maybe during the pandemic, and I'm starting to get a lot of traction. People are getting a lot of purchases on my Etsy store. However, I left my Etsy store probably 2 years prior to build my own standalone shop. I never closed my Etsy because I knew that link was there, and I didn't want error messages coming. I wanted the money to come however it came, okay? So you never close down a shop, people, okay? I hope you got that. But people were still clicking on this Etsy that I wasn't checking for, hadn't told nobody about in 2 years. And I started to look at my analytics to understand that the traffic was coming from Pinterest. So as I'm starting my coaching business, I am telling people, make sure we have a space in here for Pinterest. I am showing them how to navigate through it. And they're like, you need to teach this. Like, you need to teach this. And my friends that are starting businesses, I'm just helping them, and they're like, you need to teach this. You need to get paid to teach this because you know so much about it. So my clients, my friends that I was coaching actually pointed me in the direction of getting more specific about educating people on the platform of Pinterest, and also particularly people of color. We don't see enough entrepreneurs of color on the platform. And the platform over the last, I would say 18 months, has really done a huge shift in cultivating creators as a whole, but also creators of color, because they do understand the deficit. They do understand that there is a void there, and they do understand that smaller businesses can win on Pinterest. So that was how I got started on Pinterest. And it was kind of scary. Because again, you don't see other people like me talking about Pinterest, right? So you're like, oh, I'm going to be the only one that looks like me talking about Pinterest. How is this going to work? How am I going to resonate with my audience, with my tribe, right? And so you have to really push through. Pinterest helped me to solidify myself as an expert, because as I'm educating my clients, I'm also educating the almost 500 billion monthly users on the platform, because I am creating content that is letting them know that this is a space that your business can definitely win and that you can generate more revenue. So that's how I got started on the platform of Pinterest, and it served me well, meaning that on this new horizon of apps popping off, we have a new app over the last year, Clubhouse, and I have the largest Pinterest club in these Clubhouse streets with over 6,000 monthly users. Let me tell you, if you want to understand Pinterest a little bit more, we are creating communities and also collaborating with other strategists as well, so that it's not just one linear view of how to use Pinterest, but it's more of a collaborative, broad view, so you can pick the one that works for you.
And I love how you both are incorporating other platforms in your use of your respective platforms. Speaking of your platforms, are your platforms more focused on businesses or individuals?
Ooh, great question. So of course on LinkedIn, you unapologetically live in the best of both worlds always, and it focuses on both, right? Because essentially when you're there, if you work for someone, you're representing theoretically your company and yourself at the same time. You can also build business pages. A lot of people don't know, but on LinkedIn, you can have a business page. So for those who want to hide from their coworkers or don't want to put things on their actual LinkedIn, definitely recommend you even building a LinkedIn business page over a website because the SEO will be there for you. We'll talk about that later. But in general, it caters to both because it is the business platform. It's where individuals go to talk about business. You already know the mindset of the people who show up on LinkedIn. You don't go to LinkedIn to find the latest meme. You don't go to LinkedIn to find the latest TikTok sensation. You go to LinkedIn to find out what is going on in your industry, what is happening, who's happening, what's trending, and how can you insert yourself into that conversation as an individual, right? And so it's definitely a great place where businesses and individuals collide and collaborate and live harmoniously together in our professionalism. All right. So I always tell people to show up authentically yourself, but the professional version, when you're over on LinkedIn. And definitely it loves links. So it loves links. So unlike Facebook and unlike your good old Instagram, LinkedIn loves a good link. So it'll link out to your business pages, your articles, your Pinterest, even if you need it to, your YouTubes. It loves links. And so therefore I feel as though it is the best platform for when it comes to where businesses and individuals come to think together and to move forward. And just in saying that, when the DEI conversation started happening after last year, they took place on LinkedIn. You saw them go to task on some corporations and them respond on LinkedIn on what needed to be done. So it's a good place to see actual conversations happen amongst individuals and businesses.
You know, I have to say that this is where Pinterest and LinkedIn are in alignment, because you can definitely have your personal private side. Pinterest is known for recipe foothold and a digital blueprint on the platform of Pinterest, because Pinterest has built and cultivated their identity over being able to do how-to videos and how to purchase Amazon things, right? But really, you can have a personal page and a business page. And a lot of entrepreneurs that I work with are using their personal pages for business. And just as Demeshia said, you should have a business page, because the business page allows you so much latitude to be able to grow your business, especially inside of the back end with those analytics to let you know what is working and what isn't working. You definitely can have a separate identity where you do look for those recipes and you shop for a different nail. I'm a nail person, so when it comes to making sure that I have a design that resonates with me, I got to do the research. I think that's the Capricorn in me. So I have a whole board on my personal account for nails, right? But on my business account, it is strictly about the EbonyBizDiva and the products and services that I am educating and informing you on that platform. So you can have two separate identities. And also, they love links. So as you are pinning your pins, which is equivalent to post on Pinterest, each and every one of those pins can have its own separate link, which means you can drive traffic wherever you want them to go. We could drive traffic to the best of both worlds, but we could also drive traffic to the battle that we had introducing it last week. We can drive traffic in 10 years to the automated link to click and pay. So we can drive traffic wherever we want to go. We're not handicapped by the one link. Now, there are other platforms that are coming up on, but I think that LinkedIn and Pinterest were definitely instrumental, and for runners, right, of allowing us to have different links and access to different links in the way that we pin. Also, when it comes to your business, this is where you go for your brand identity on Pinterest. Meaning, when you Google, think about what you see. You're going to see some videos from YouTube, but you're also going to see a lot of articles that are populating from both the platforms of Pinterest and LinkedIn, because Google likes to snatch up everybody's goodies. Now, we know that Pinterest is Google's good old bae, okay? But you know, he kind of sweet on LinkedIn too. So this is where the two platforms align, because every single thing that you can do on one, you can definitely do on the other. When it comes to your marketing strategies for 2022, working with both the platforms of LinkedIn and Pinterest is going to be beneficial, because it's not two different strategies, right? It's just a voice, the brand voice, and the audiences that you want to reach. So definitely purposing your content in both at the same time is going to benefit you, because you're going to reach two different audiences with the same content. It's a win-win for your business and your marketing strategy for 2022.
So if I want to use these platforms, who are here in the audience watching on social media, we want to know, how do we get found? How can people find us on these platforms if we're just getting started?
Ooh, yay, my favorite thing. So LinkedIn's favorite friend is Google. If you Google yourself, your LinkedIn profile is probably already in the top If it's not the top, it's in the top 3. That LinkedIn will pop up. Them and Microsoft might have a thing, meaning that they own them. And so they already are the kings of SEO. They already know how to move through it. When you are using, now that we have our lovely hashtags over on LinkedIn as well, when you are using the hashtags or the proper words, you're going to be discovered automatically. The algorithm loves for you to embed those words throughout everything and to actually show up and do that, right? So it enjoys that already. And hold on, make sure I do that. Yeah, it enjoys it already, and it makes sure that at all times you are being found, being discovered, that you know exactly how to move in and out of it. So you don't actually have to quote unquote do anything, but you do need to use the words, the so when you actually are an expert in your industry and you naturally speak in that tone, you will be found. Now, there are some strategies to go out and find out what's going on in your industry, but in general, if you use words like branding and you know, marketing, then when you do the search on LinkedIn, you'll show up. And if not, you know, it's okay, because the algorithm and whoever you're interacting with and whatever you're talking about, you'll show up that way as well. So definitely the power of SEO works on LinkedIn, and as well, Paula will let you know how it works on Pinterest.
Absolutely. So SEO is queen. I'm going to say SEO is queen, because we always want to think of Pinterest as that Southern Belle, okay? And that Southern Belle is always powerful, right? Subtle, powerful, but packs a punch. Powerful, but quietly running things behind the scene. That's what Southern Belles do, okay? So when it comes to SEO on Pinterest, you can't even get found on Pinterest unless you are using your SEO and your keyword strategy game to its fullest potential. Nothing moves on the platform until someone types in the URL in the search bar what it is that they want. You can open it up, but I'm gonna tell you, nothing happens until you start searching. Now, this is the power of something in particular. This is what it's going to do. It's going to pull up all of the things that are relevant and relative to that search in that moment, right? And then you're gonna walk away from it. You're gonna live your life. And then if you haven't opted out, there's an email that's going to come to you, and the email is going to say, hey, this is what you were looking for. We found pins that were related to your search. So they're going to usher these businesses, these ideas, these products, these services inside of those ideal clients' inbox, right? I don't know no platform that's doing that, so y'all better keep up. Then when you log back into your Pinterest, it's going to say, hey, we found some more items similar to your search the other day, the last time you were here. So they're constantly pulling things up through the algorithm that match your search. So it's not the first thing that comes up to mind. There are other things that are ushered into your email and that sit there. How amazing would it be for a business to be in someone's inbox waiting for them to peruse at their leisure? Then when you log back in, Pinterest is bringing up more products, more services, more ideas, more articles that are relevant. Wouldn't it be amazing if the first thing that popped up was an article that you wrote educating your audience about your products and your services? So those are 3 ways that Pinterest is able to resonate based off of the keyword strategy that we teach. Also, Pinterest is Google's bae, okay? Now, we've got 3 large search engines in the world, okay? We got Google, we got YouTube, we got Pinterest. And you know, Pinterest is that Southern Belle, but here go Google, always trying to snatch our goodies, right? Which is why you see so many Pinterest items on Google. So keyword strategy is supreme. We use it not only in Pinterest, but as Demeshia said, in LinkedIn. It's a win-win for you to understand the finesse of the keyword strategy, right? Because a lot of times we can hash a thing together. There's a finesse to it. Because like I said, Pinterest is a Southern Belle. You got to finesse a Southern Belle, baby. That's it. That's all.
All right. So I have a couple more questions before we wrap up. Hashtags and keywords, do they matter on your platforms?
Let's see. So keywords do matter. Keywords matter no matter your platform. Keywords are definitely, as Paula could say, bae on LinkedIn over hashtags. You only want to use 1 to 2 hashtags on LinkedIn. This is not no IG 25, 30 hashtag situation, but you can use 1 to 2, and it usually will sit there and recommend it for you as you're typing based on what you're doing. But definitely the keywords, whether, like I said, whether you're using this for your career, to find clients, as a lead gen, as thought leadership, the keywords matter. Everything you type in there now becomes searchable. Every time. So the more you type it and the more relevant it is inside of your profile, then the more you will show up. Keywords are critical in LinkedIn, and that's why, as a part of the strategy, as part of what I do, I show you where to go get those keywords from. I show you which keywords you really want. And then if you ever notice when it says, these people have seen your profile, it's because of the keywords. It's because of what they were searching from. So you're like, who are these people stalking me, or why are they looking at my LinkedIn? It's because of what you said and what you did on that platform and what you wrote, right? And what you posted and how you said it. So be careful. Words matter. What you speak, and definitely words matter what you write inside of LinkedIn.
Yeah, I just said keywords are the driving force of how you get found on the platform of Pinterest. So it definitely matters. But this is also a really key thing. If you're using specific keywords relevant to the thing that you're pinning on Pinterest, that means that you're using a diverse number of keywords so that you can get found in many multiple different ways. And sometimes on other platforms, we get stuck on just using the same keywords repetition, which pigeonholes you right into this funnel of only being seen in that one way. But we as entrepreneurs, we have so many different levels. So this keyword strategy allows you to be able to maximize all the different ways that you leverage business. Like, I am a Pinterest coach and strategist, and so there's some content I pin that's specific to coaching and Pinterest, right? But then also I help with brand visibility, which is a totally different element of coaching, right? So those keywords are going to be very, very different. I also have a business retreat popping off. Those keywords are very, very different. And so what it does is it allows you the latitude and the flexibility to be able to show up for the user that is interested in the pieces and the components of your business, right? That make your business a whole pie. So the keyword strategy is game. What we teach you is how to specifically get the right keywords, not the top keywords that everybody and their mom and them are using, because then you get lost in the sauce. There is, I said before, a finesse to the keyword strategy game. And so, yes, it is super, super important.
Why do I need a strategy for your platform?
Listen, you don't want to get out here in these internet streets and waste your time, your talents, your resources by just being fly by night. Going into anything with a strategy, a plan, and a purpose is the best way to succeed and to execute on your actual goals. So that's the first reason why you need a strategy, period, across the board. I don't care what you're doing. Now, particularly on LinkedIn, a lot of people are already afraid to speak on LinkedIn because they're like their coworkers are watching. LinkedIn is known as a place where people don't necessarily quote unquote lie, because they know that the people there are watching who actually have paid them in the past, the present, and the future. They don't, if you decide you don't want to be an entrepreneur anymore, you don't want to mess up your professional network, or if you already are building your career, you definitely don't want to send any wrong signals. So what you say matters, how you say it matters, and how you move matters. I don't want to sit here and think, I don't want you to sit here and think for 1 minute that LinkedIn is a place that you can just practice what you decide you want to be. It is a place where you show up as the thought leader, the expert, the degree person, the street educated person, and you're articulating those professional thoughts in a manner that moves people, that influences people, to let them know that you're about this life, you're about business, right? And they want to do business with you. So I wouldn't want anybody to go into that without a strategy, whether you're doing it for your career, whether you're doing it just to network, or whether you're doing it to actually build your future empire. Strategies matter, and that's why I took years and I did the practice and I did the things for you to cultivate strategies that work, that matter, and that move the needle when it comes to your network, your business, and your influence, and definitely your income.
When it comes to Pinterest, the consistency is what works. So as Demeshia just said, you know, you want to position yourself as the expert. You don't want to be the fly by night, especially now when you're surrounded by a sea of other professionals that have popped up all of a sudden and that are doing what it is that you do. What makes you different, right? What makes you stand out? When people are researching you, they want to research you and know that there's more than just a one or a two liner about you. They want to see that over the years, they want to see your growth. And for example, on some of the platforms like an IG, where there's this thing where people are just archiving all of the old things, right? Because they want to show up to be this new and improved type thing. Well, what you're doing is you're deleting your history and the trajectory of your growth and business and of your business. And what that says to some people is that, well, she doesn't have enough, she don't have enough like salt in this game. Like she's brand new. He's just starting, right? You want to be able to show how you've evolved and grown as a country, as a company. If you think about McDonald's, when we think about Golden Arches, we think about what it looked like. We think about the fries. We think about the orange drink that we love that they took off. Then we boycotted and they brought it back this year. You know what I'm saying? So when you Google McDonald's, you're going to get all that history, right? They're not deleting the fact that they took the orange soda off and that was a mistake on their part. They were using it as an opportunity to say, we hear the people, right? Because every opportunity is a marketing way to get in front of the right ideal client. So you do need Pinterest in order to showcase yourself and as far as the longevity, right? But also to get in front of a brand new audience that's not connected to your Facebook. They don't go to your mama's church, okay? Don't work with you necessarily. No connectivity at all. This is a platform where anybody can show up as long as your keyword game is superior. And that's what we teach you. So it's extremely important for you to constantly infuse new people into your business on a daily basis and to have funnels in place that moves those new people into your home base, which is your website, your landing pages, your email list. You want to be able to nurture them along the way. So yeah, this is definitely important.
So this is absolutely great. This has been a great experience. Let me know in the chat how you have been feeling about this versus battle. Have you learned something? Are you ready to get your Pinterest and LinkedIn on? Okay, like it's like nobody's business. And guess what? So you don't have to choose. We have something special for you, just like my outfit. I just like the fitting outfit. We got the blue of the LinkedIn and the red of the Pinterest, depending on which side you're looking at. You know, you just like this outfit can have the best of both worlds. How about that? We want to have the best of both worlds. Let us know in the chat you want the best of both worlds. So we have the ultimate LinkedIn and ultimate Pinterest bundle, so that you can have both. You don't have to choose. And I would love Demeshia and Paula to share what's inside of those bundles and how you can get access to these bundles this week.
Sure. For me, I wanted to make sure that the people had the blueprint. Let's see, it might not show up on this camera, but this is a 40-page guide that shows you exactly what to do, when to do it, how to do it, LinkedIn strategy, all up in here, right? It's a digital download. You'll get it immediately as soon as you grab the bundle, and you'll be able to start cultivating your network, your income. I took a lot of time and a lot of years to put this blueprint together. It was not done in a day. It was built like Rome, you guys. Like this, every time that I learned something, got better, saw that the strategy worked, I put it in the blueprint. And finally this year I decided, you know what, I'm ready to publish the LinkedIn blueprint. And it basically guides you through what to do in those profiles, how to build those networks, how to show up as a thought leader, how to go live on LinkedIn, because yes, LinkedIn does have live. It gives you what content you should and should not be posting, how you should move and when you should move. This normally will retail for $147. It is a part of the bundle along with all of the awesome goodness that Paula brings for Pinterest, because we did not want you to choose. We want you to build your brand and your business on the platforms as you need it. So this guide is going to help you do that. This blueprint is here, and it also gives you access to the LinkedIn Lab, which is where you can get accountability and get additional questions answered as you guide in your journey through LinkedIn. So that is what I brought to the bundle. That's what I brought to the people for Black Friday. So all of my melon and corporate professionals who are building businesses and brands, you need to get this LinkedIn blueprint ASAP.
And me, myself, I'm offering an exclusive challenge that I deliver the step-by-step, because the biggest pain point I've got is that I just don't know where to start. I don't know what to do first. So we're going to take you from the very beginning, which even if you're already on Pinterest, let me tell you, Pinterest has changed by leaps and bounds over the last year. I would tell you over the last 6 months, we can't even keep our heads on straight. So this is in real time, because these platforms are growing and evolving based off of what's trending. Remember, both of these platforms are SEO based. Pinterest is no different. And so however you're used to using the platform in terms of idea pins, in terms of going live, we've got new shopping availability that just popped off a few weeks ago on the platform of Pinterest. So inside of this step-by-step guide, you're also going to be inside of my community, which means that you have access and availability to me. That's super important, because in order for you to really understand and learn a thing and make the shift, pivot, and change, you got to touch a thing and you've got to be involved in it. You got to bathe in it. You got to seep in it, right? And so being inside of the community of other entrepreneurs that are also equally as excited about adding Pinterest to their marketing strategy is going to give you the support that you need to be able to push through and ask those questions in real time. So that's normally valued at a $97 price point, and the workbook is inside of the community waiting for you. All you got to do is just click the link and you get the best of both worlds and literally 60% off.
Listen, we got to step our social media game up as we go into a new year, and you get access to the best of both worlds. Make sure you grab this for this special rate. And I can't wait to see you in these LinkedIn and Pinterest streets.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Sade, for being here. I want to thank Sade for letting us, for hosting this today with us, for us being Experts Lounge. Shout out to the Experts Lounge. I see you guys there. Appreciate that. Paula, of course, this was my first professional versus, and the person I chose, of course, was Paula to do battle, because melanin people belong on LinkedIn and Pinterest. I saw that there was a lack of that, and so I went out and got the expert in Pinterest, and I'm the expert in LinkedIn. And the person that brought us together was Sade. So it's just appropriate that it is Thanksgiving. I just want to say, shout out to all things. You never know when somebody's going to, need you, network with you. So just be careful of the bridges that you're building in this great internet online business streets. And again, grab the best of both worlds, because we would never make you choose between LinkedIn and Pinterest.
However, that it's always about collaboration and networking, right? When you align yourself with other platforms to build a really great marketing foundation for your business, you're always going to win. Now, let's just think into the future of 2022. You grab the best of both worlds, right? You start working on your LinkedIn game and your Pinterest game all throughout 2022. Let's think about how amazing your Black Friday experience in 2022 is going to be, because you grew the foundation and grew some roots in both of us, looking at your products and your services. So let's foreshadow into the future and think about, let's envision what this 2022 Black Friday is going to look like, and how different and spectacular it's going to be, because you capture the best of both worlds here on Black Friday.